Welcome to another day of drawing. Hope you're all doing well. I start out by using Knuckles as a size guide for Sonic. I didn't get any footage of me drawing Knuckles, so just showing him a bit to you there. By looking at my reference, drawing a head and a body roughly where I want them, just to get a feel for how he's going to fill the space on the card, I actually ended up adding a ring to his left hand just to balance him out a little bit more. First, I start off by grabbing cobalt blue, indigo blue, true blue, and powder blue. I put down a base coat of cobalt blue to give us a good starting local color. I used true blue on the parts of him that light would come in contact with to give him more form. Checking to make sure that the card looks good. Here I chose to use light peach for his face and stomach color. I forgot to color in his arms, but I do remember later. I do a little bit of the buckle on his left shoe and then using red to fill in the first coat of his sneakers. Green for his eyes, just kind of figure out where I want those. Another brush to brush away any excess pencil. Using indigo blue to add depth, with layering cobalt blue back on top to get it all to blend nicely. Here I actually remember to fill in the arms. I do a yellow coat on the ring, adding more of an orangey one, just to add a little bit more depth and shape. Next I grab this gray to do the bottom of his shoes. I ended up erasing a little bit of the top of it and filling it in with more red just to give his foot a little bit more space. Lifting it up to check again to make sure things are still looking okay. I took my small eraser just to lighten some of the blue sketch lines since it was mixing kind of with the skin color. Grab black, doing the nose and the pupils, getting those where I want them, making sure that he doesn't look too cross-eyed or wide-eyed. Next I grab this blue. It's called Light Aqua. It's one of my favorite blues. I like to use it as reflected light in shadow areas. It just feels like it gives it just a little extra something. Going in with another coat of blue, more darks, just to give it more shape, more depth to his character. I also had this lighter blue that I just used to do some of the highlight areas. And then here you see me start in with a nice sharp black Prismacolor pencil. I really like the look of a straight edge style line art. I don't know why, it's a style I really love. Here you see me comparing the two, making sure they're about the same size, and then I just sign it in the bottom corner. And if you've ever wondered how this becomes this, it's about 10 minutes of scrubbing, tapping, brushing, and double checking the back to make sure I don't scrape it or dent it in any way. It's a long and strenuous process, but it makes really cool cards where I'm able to use pencil on them instead of just paint. I use Knuckles again as my reference for starting size for Tails. I don't use Sonic because if he's a slightly different size than Knuckles, I don't want that to affect the size of Tails. Starting again with the head, doing the eyes, the cheeks, the stomach, the tails, and his shoes. Here I noticed that the face wasn't quite the right shape. Here I noticed that his stomach area was just not exactly the right size, a little too far to the left. It's a pretty subtle change, but it actually makes a big difference. On the left, you can see the curve of the stomach is a little bit different from the one on the right. The legs are different sizes. The shoe then becomes more visible. The one on the left, the face and the stomach are offset, while the one on the right, they're inline. This causes tail's center of gravity to feel too far to the left. Another quick swipe with a brush just to make sure to get rid of any loose graphite. And then I start coloring the shoes with red. I start on his fur, doing the legs, the arms, and then the tails. Adding a bit of the orange color that I also use on the ring for Sonic to give a little bit more depth. Going with blue for his eyes and black for his pupil and nose. Adding that light aqua color again that I love so much before starting on the liner. I first started on his ears and then moved on to his tail. I accidentally made this line a little bit thicker on the bottom of his tail, but I liked it so much I went back and added a bit of that to Sonic and Knuckles. You can see me here thickening up some of the lines on his hands just to keep it a little more consistent throughout. I again tried to do this one kind of in that harsh edge, straight line style. Here you see me adding in those darker lines to make them consistent. And there you have a complete set of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye!